Yo, what's up? What's up? Welcome to the Sideline Story Podcast. This is the reaction to games 1 and 2. And I got the Celtic fan, Corey. What's up, man?
Chilling, bro. How you doing, man?
Good, man. Last time we was here, man, you was telling me how stuff was finna go. I was telling you what I thought was finna go in. To
Yeah.
your credit, a lot of the things that you said were gonna take place, they ended up taking place. And one of my first and Drew Holiday, that ended up taking place last night. But we're gonna
Yeah.
get into that. We're gonna get into that though. But right now, tell me how you feeling about games 1 and 2. What are you seeing right now?
So games 1 and 2 for sure. I feel like, I mean, we kind of spoke on a little bit. Tatum has not played his best basketball. I think game 2 was a lot better than game 1 for him.
Right.
He was able to like dribble, penetrate, dish the ball out, get a lot of assists, find a Drew Holiday in the paint for some easy buckets. But as far as his shot and his scoring, it just hasn't really been there. Like, especially his shot from like mid-range to three, like it's just not falling for him. And I'm glad that he's still taking the shots, even though they're not falling, because eventually they will start to fall. But
Right.
I just like that he's still staying the course, playing his game. I think Porzingis, like we kind of spoke about, he's been an X factor, especially in that stretch for game 1 where he just kind of went crazy and was hitting the 30-foot 3-pointers and just kind of hitting the easy mid-range shots over whoever was guarding him, blocking some shots, paint protector, rim protector. So I think some of the questions, like that was probably the biggest question mark was Porzingis. And then kind of Tatum, is he gonna redeem himself from the last finals, which he hasn't done yet, but I mean, a 2-0 lead, you can't really criticize too much, you know.
Yeah. The first thing I noticed, I'm like, yeah, this ain't the 2022 Boston Celtics. Like, we not getting that team. We're not getting that team for
Yeah,
sure.
not at all.
Game 1, y'all came out, man. It was guns blazing, man. Y'all had like a crazy first half in particular, and y'all ended up breaking like a finals record. They say y'all had 7 players that hit 2 threes or more.
Yeah,
And what I was impressed with was y'all defensive what's the word I'm looking for? Discipline, y'all defensive discipline, whatever Joe Mazzulla, whatever the game plan was, I felt like y'all stuck to it to a T. It's like y'all go 5 out on offense. We already know that y'all spread the floor. But on defense, I felt like y'all did a great job of staying home. And even in times, especially in like game 2, PJ Washington, Derrick Jones Jr., we're gonna dare y'all to shoot these
yeah,
threes. We're gonna make y'all make these threes. Luka's gonna get his. We said that going into the series. You said Luka was gonna get his, and it's proven Luka he's getting his. But the problem is it's just Luka. I feel like y'all defense is really like suffocating to an extent, especially in these first 2 games. In game 1, Porzingis was like he was like the X factor. He was the question mark. Um, I feel like we didn't really have a game plan for him because we really didn't know what to expect.
yeah,
Because so many games, we didn't know what to expect. I used this analogy at work today. I was telling some of the guys, games 1 and 2 is like if you ever taken a test that you couldn't pass, you took it, you couldn't pass it, and you spun the block on the test. You you did a little bit better, but you still didn't pass the test. You know what I'm saying? It's like y'all have a lot of questions that we don't have the answers to right now. I was telling shout out to Cash. I think I was telling him or shout out to my homie Eli. I was telling either one of them. Right now, it doesn't seem like we have an ace in the hole. If you remember in 2011, um, the Heat didn't
AJ
have an answer.
Barea.
They didn't have an answer for JJ Barea.
Yeah,
I feel like right now we don't have y'all we don't have an ace in the hole. In game 1, I saw Kid put in Tim Hardaway. Respected Tim Hardaway, but I knew it was kind of this is kind of bad because I feel like he experimented at this point in time.
yeah.
Yeah. So y'all
I
doing
think.
y'all doing a great job on Kyrie Irving too.
Oh yeah, see, that's one thing I kind of knew. Like with Kyrie, just like people want to ignore the history of like him, like the 0-10 versus the Celtics, this and that. But
Yeah.
the proof is in the pudding. Like
Yeah.
he's only had maybe 2 good games against the Celtics, and he struggled from the field. He could barely get to most games. He barely reaches 20. Some games he barely goes over 25. I think he has one game, maybe 2 over 25 points. It's just the way they guard him, like longer defenders, fast defenders. It's just the proof is in the pudding. And then now you add in Drew Holiday and Derek White. It's gonna be tough on him. Like every game, in and out. Like no matter what point in the game, he's gonna have a defender that's a pretty good defender, if not an elite defender on him. So it's tough. And so and then with Luka, what I noticed is that a lot of the turnovers he's getting, it's just you can tell it's just out of pure like frustration. Like he's trying to make too much happen. He's getting caught in the air trying to pass the ball and just kind of doing these blind passes, which in a normally it would work against like a lower tier team. Those passes
Yeah.
might work, but The Celtics, they just too alert on defense. They like I said, they game plan to a T, and they looking out for all those cross court passes, those kind of passes you normally wouldn't expect. It's like they planned for them, and they just picking them off and picking them up full court, just kind of frustrating, making them work. And when you already injured and you already carrying a team, it's just you're gonna get more and more frustrated having to do that.
When I watch y'all play, it's sometimes it's like an embarrassment of riches because it's like you could put so many 3-point shooters out there. It's so much defensive versatility out there. Like with the Kyrie Irving matchup, you could throw Derek White, you could throw Jaylen Brown, you could throw Tatum, you could throw Drew Holiday. It's like it's so many options that y'all have that from games 1 and 2, it's a pure mismatch. Like respectfully, but yesterday I felt like no lead we had was safe because especially like from Luka, like Luka was going off, particularly in the first half, but you could see in the second half he kind of wore down a little bit. Kyrie had like a small surge in the first quarter, but pretty much through the rest of the game, it was pretty much he really couldn't give too much. I felt like y'all were really making him work for every point that he had to score. And as somebody as skilled as he is, and who has a high offensive IQ as he does, I just felt like even I don't know. It's I don't know. It's a tough matchup for him. It's a tough matchup for us as a team. You know, like I said, going what was the biggest lead we had yesterday? Was it like 6,
It
7
had to have
possibly?
been 6 or 7. I think it was 7
Yeah,
actually. I
7.
remember thinking like, I hope it don't get to double digits, and then niggas start panicking, but it never got to that point. It definitely wasn't double digits. I think it was 7 points. It was the largest lead.
And okay, so game one, I wasn't really mad that we lost. I expected us to win just because my expectations for game one was on some like, okay, we're gonna go into this game. I feel like they will be the best team. We will be the best team that they faced thus far. So I felt like we was gonna go out there and throw the first punch that y'all wouldn't expect. But the thing was, from an offensive standpoint, y'all were virtually a flamethrower. So I feel like in the first half, y'all got up to this crazy lead. We came back in the second half, but y'all called a timeout and got it right back up to 20. I feel like y'all won the game in the first half. In game two, we came out the way we were supposed to come out, very aggressive. Luka was really looking to pass like that. He was trying to set the tone from the
Yeah.
beginning. The thing was, y'all went 10 from 39 from three-point line. On the flip side, we only made 6 threes. We missed 8 free throws. We lost by 7. I felt
Yeah.
like everything that was supposed to take place in the game for us to win, it did take place. The problem was y'all can play mediocre and still win the game. We can't do that against y'all from games 1 and 2. And I feel like that's the biggest issue right now.
Yeah, game 2 specifically, like both teams missed a lot of like wide open shots. Like it was, I mean, game 1 as well, but game 2 specifically, like a lot of wide open shots getting missed. One due to Tatum just being off, but also just like I think PJ Washington and Derrick Jones Jr. I think, like you said, we're gonna force them to make some shots before we respect them, and it seemed like their confidence is just kind of shot right now. Well, one thing PJ Washington did do was he was driving, getting to the bucket like little floaters in the paint. He was making those. But as far as the shot, like which they living off that corner three, like they just
Mm-hmm.
not knocking them down. And the Celtics are making it a like their defense is pretty much predicated on stopping the corner three, stopping the lob, and it's making Kyrie and Luka just have to work for every single bucket. So it's I want to see how they adjust going home. They say your role players play better at home, but
Mm-hmm.
so you would hope that the role players play a little bit better, but also I think Boston's confidence, I feel like it's gonna be through the roof now. I think we played well on the road this whole postseason. I don't think we haven't lost a game on the road. And they're just due to have like one of those explosion games. Like the first 2 games, they've shot the ball pretty. The first game was average. Last night was poor. So they do for a game where they shoot 35, 40% from 3, and then it's just gonna be can Dallas kind of counteract it and raise their shooting because Tatum or Brown at one point they're gonna get a 30 to 40 point game. Like it's just due. Luka, we know every night he can probably do that. Kyrie, waiting to see if he's gonna wake up. But and then I feel like the Celtics role players like Derek White with the defense, the blocks, Drew Holiday just with the all around everything he's doing. KP, even though he kind of limping around now. I feel like the Celtics, even if you want to call them role players, I would just say the ones that aren't the stars, they're still like
They're still high-end role players, if you want to say that.
Yeah, high-end role players. They're pulling their weight, and the moment is not too big for them. Whereas for the Mavericks, it looks the opposite. It seems like they kind of shine away. Derek Lively, he's damn near disappeared. I don't know where he's at. Gafford, he I said on the pod before that we struggle against bigs who can create their own offense, and he kind of showed with Tatum guarding him. he can take advantage of that matchup and get some easy post ups and easy buckets on them. So I want to see if they continue that in game 3, whether we switch Tatum off or if they keep him on him. I think Gafford he showed he can take advantage of that matchup and get some easy buckets for them down low. So that'd be interesting to see.
I feel like another reason we lost is in particular game 2. I was talking to Cash. I noticed something kind of alarming at the end of game 1. I was like, Luka and Kyrie might have to combine for 60 for us to pull like some of these games off. And then game 2, it was that those sentiments became true. You know, Kyrie had what he had 16, I believe.
Game 2, 16 or 14, yeah.
Yeah, something like that. The problem is when I do these Dallas Mavericks Chronicles, something I noticed earlier in the season is from like an offensive creation standpoint, we were limited in that aspect as far as like players who could create for themselves and others. It's pretty much just Luka and Kyrie. PJ Washington, Jaden Hardy, they have the ability, but they're not high end. We need high end offensive creation in this series because of the defensive issues that y'all present to us. And I feel like if Kyrie and Luka don't combine for 55 to 60 points, I'm gonna be honest, it's looking like a sweep. But I'm only reacting to games 1 and 2. Y'all do present a lot of problems, and I feel like they're having a hard time adjusting to it. Game 2, I feel like game 2 was really it was definitely a step up. And the thing about it is, going back home, you said that your team and players in particular, like Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown, they all do for a good scoring shooting night. I feel like the Mavericks will do for one as well. One of these games, we could see a shootout, maybe a low to mid 40% clip from 3 from both teams. You just never know. Y'all haven't lost the game on the road yet. I feel like y'all are very disciplined on the road. You know, I feel like the crowd is going to be the most intense probably I've ever seen in American Airlines because of what's at stake. But what did you? How you feel about like Drew Holiday? I want to talk about him for a little bit because if I'm a Milwaukee Buck fan, I'm at home sick right now. Because I'm like,
I don't understand what was the reasoning for not wanting to retain Drew Holiday. Like he didn't play bad. I know he was due.
I think the Damian Lillard trade might have affected that.
I would want to find a way to keep. I would have rather got rid of Chris Middleton. I know that kind of takes away from some of your length and defense, but
you hide Dame's defensive deficiencies with keeping Drew though. That's the thing.
Yeah, I think Chris. I mean, as crazy as it seems, I think Chris Middleton is much easily replaceable than Drew Holiday is.
Right.
So I mean, he fell into our lap. I'll take it, but yeah, I never understood why they went that route. I mean, I get it. Dame is Dame. That's a superstar. That's a top 10 player. But I don't know. I think doing that, you put too much pressure on Giannis, especially on the defensive end, to kind of cover up too many holes. So that was always I never understood that decision, but I was grateful for it because we ended up losing Marcus Smart and Malcolm Brogdon and getting Porzingis and Holiday. I'll take that trade. I'll take that any day of the week. So,
how you feel about his play in the particular game too? Because actually, if we've been honest, I feel like he's in the race for Finals MVP through 2 games. He has to be.
No, for sure. Yeah, he has to be. I think credit to Tatum. Like I said, Tatum just driving and finding an open man. And a lot of times that was Drew Holiday in that dunker spot. Just kind of he's moving around smart. He's kind of watching where the defense is moving, and he's kind of sneaking behind them or just finding the open spot. And Tatum's passes was just on point. And Holiday's finishing at the rim, whether it be a reverse, just an easy little. I mean, most of them were just kind of gimmies like this. He was just getting lost in the defense and taking advantage. I think Dallas is going to have to keep their head on the swivel, especially the bigs. I think they were getting too focused on the Tatum drive and thinking he's going to be aggressive trying to get his points off. And Holiday just reaped the benefits, just kind of sitting where he's supposed to be at. I mean, he was also hitting his threes from outside. He was locking up on defense. He's just all over the place. I think he had 11 boards. Like, Holiday was just all around just kind of doing exactly what we needed him to do. I thought he got in some early foul trouble. I thought he was going to catch that third one. I was nervous, but he relaxed, and yeah, he just played great. So I credit a lot of that to Tatum. I think Holiday did the same. I think he said the same after the game. Like, yeah, Tatum just kind of found open man, 11 assists or whatever it was. He was doing his job.
It was a play. I want to say it was in the first half of game 2. Drew Holiday was on the corner. He was in the corner, like for the corner 3 spot. I think Tatum had the ball. Tatum had like 11 dimes last night, so it had to be one of these assists. The whole defense was locked in on Jason Tatum. Derek Lively was around the restricted area. He kind of moved up just a bit, and Drew Holiday came up. Derek Lively never saw him. Tatum throwing the ball, it was up for an easy lay.
Yeah.
Man, I really feel like he's gonna go down as one of the best underrated players of our generation. A lot of people don't know it. He's actually one of the best catch and shoot players in the NBA.
He shot over 40% this season.
Yeah,
Ridiculous.
catch and shoot is crazy. And he's doing this while guarding like our best players. You know what I'm saying? Like he's on Kyrie, he's on Luka. Like it's a lot, man. Drew Holiday is. I feel like he's gonna go down as one of those guys, man. He definitely got to be a Hall of Fame career. One of my favorite players for sure.
I feel like it. Yeah.
I want to talk about Tatum real quick. Tatum is against some criticism. Is it fair? It probably is because we have a nice sample size of games, especially like in the big moments, like in the finals, Eastern Conference Finals. With the shooting, it's just not there. And let me ask you this: I was listening to the Bill Simmons podcast, and Bill Simmons is a Celtic fan, so he was saying it's something in his game that's just missing because he thinks that Tatum actually has another level to unlock. Ryan Russillo, on the other hand, was kind of against that. He thinks Tatum is who he is. And with Tatum being 26 years old, I believe, around this age, I feel like 26 to 28, you kind of get closer to who you are as a professional athlete, especially in basketball, because normally players really don't develop after that. But I'm saying that to say Bill Simmons was saying that he's missing like the Chris Paul shot. We know like the little floater, like right.
I literally was about to say it's an easy fix for him. Just use your play. He gets so many open, like right as you step into the paint, he has that open all day long, but he won't take that shot. He either wants to get right to the rim,
right,
or he wants to shoot a mid range. He will not take like a floater, and it's just like you being 6'9", 6'10" with that wingspan. Yeah. That's an easy bucket for you because a lot of the time you could tell like if he would take that bucket, it would be uncontested. So it's just like practicing and just letting it fall in, but he doesn't. He won't take that shot for some reason. I say it all the time. Like that, I feel like it's an easy fix. Easy fix.
From like a casual standpoint, you look at the box score, he's not scoring. From like a savant perspective, you could kind of say he's like being like a Swiss Army knife because he's passing the ball. He's probably our best rebounder. I don't even know if it's debatable, to be honest. He's one of our best defenders. He could do it all. It's just it looks bad because the shot's not falling. When we look at Tatum, we look at him as like a pure scorer. I know from an offensive arsenal standpoint, he may not have like a signature go-to move, but like he can get it. He's a 3-level scorer, whether you want to say it or not. Even though he doesn't have that floater, he can still finish around the rim. He has the ability to hit mid ranges, and he can shoot the 3-ball, and he can put the ball on the floor to make for himself and others. But in the finals, when the lights are the brightest, it's for some reason it's like he's not performing to his fullest capability. And I do feel like he's getting to the point where the Jason Tatum final form, we're coming up on that moment, and he's going to be who he's going to be. So how do you feel about him at this point in his career in the second NBA Finals, and he's not playing up to the potential that a lot of Celtic fans or basketball fans can see him?
I've always said for the beginning, one of the flaws in his game is that he kind of too many times he settles for difficult shots, like that Kobe mentality, thinking you can just make. Which I mean, he is gifted and talented enough to be able to hit any shot on the court. Right. But you don't want to fall into a habit of just settling for those shots. And a lot of times that's what he does. But as far as this series goes, I think even though Jason Kidd said he thinks Jaylen Brown is the best player, he knows it's Jason Tatum. That's why you see the defense, majority of the time, they're focused on Jason Tatum. So that's why he's able to get these 11 assists because as much as they want to say Brown is the best player, they know it's Tatum, and Tatum is the focal point of their defense. So that's why, for one, the Dallas Mavericks are already a great defensive team. So it's going to be tough when they're focusing on you to get busy like that. I don't think he's as gifted as a scorer as Luka is, where Luka kind of uses his strength and his body to create like easy shots for himself. Tatum's not that gifted yet to that point, but I think it's just the last finals aside, I get it. He struggled in that when he was injured. This one, I think we put pressure on him, or the media put pressure on him to perform well, but I think that inside that locker room, they understand like we got too many weapons, we got too many people. It doesn't matter. Like I don't have to perform the greatest. Of course, he would like to, but at the end of the day, he knows that, fortunately enough, it's not make or break to the team if he performs at the highest level because you got so many other people to lean on. So he kind of got like a little bit of a cushion, like a safety net, if you will. So he doesn't have to be the greatest. They can still get the job done. And if you win the finals at the end of the day, nobody's going to care about your numbers because you're a superstar and you got a ring at this point. So.
Yeah, I'm looking at y'all as like a well-oiled machine from like a team aspect. Y'all have 5 players through 2 games in the NBA Finals averaging over 15 points. I think they said nobody has done that since the '87 Lakers. So
Yeah.
like it's a complete team, but I want to kind of backtrack. We did that All Things Celtics podcast a little while ago. You said that you feel like Tatum won't get the necessary love he deserves until he's probably on the team by himself. And it's just kind
Yeah.
of like foreshadowing, hypothetically saying Jaylen Brown won't be a part of the team no more. He will get the love when he has to carry a team to the promised land by himself. Do you think that he has those capabilities? And respectfully to him and Brown, because I feel like they are dope stars, but they do need a lot around them. And there's nothing
Yeah.
wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that at all. But do you think Tatum has the capability to carry a team by himself?
I don't think there's a player in the league that can carry a team by themselves to the finals. And, like in
Mm-hmm.
this NBA today, there's not a
You
single
need
player
help.
that can.
You
Yeah,
need
you
help.
need some. You need some. Even like Luca has a Kyrie, who Kyrie's not playing the greatest, but before this final series started, Kyrie was a great number 2 option for them. I don't think any team is going to make it to the finals in this NBA without
Well,
a
well, not
great
by
teammate.
himself. I guess I want to say like hypothetically a post Jaylen Brown era. Maybe he gets somebody else that's lesser than Jaylen Brown, and he has to have more of the workload, something like
Yeah,
that.
I
Yeah.
mean, I think he can because I still think he has some. Like you said, I do think he has another level he can unlock in this game. I kind of
Mhm.
agree with what Bill Simmons was saying. I think he can. Like he's shown that he can be a better passer. I just think it's the shot selection and just kind of like that mid, like that post, like that floater. I think that can unlock a whole nother level in this game because it just gives him another thing to guard, and it just unlocks. It opens up the floor much more when you take those shots and you're not just settling for the fadeaway mid range or the dribble pull up 3-pointer and just a hard nose like drive to the rim. Like you add in that, it's something so subtle, but it's something like that that really opens up a defense, and then you just got so many options. Like it's like the world is your oyster at that point because you're already gifted enough to make all these shots. Then you just keep them guessing, and there's almost no way for them to stop you. That's kind of where Luka is at now. Like we almost expect at least 30 points every night from him. I mean, he averaged what 33 in the season, 32, something like that.
34,
Like
34,
it's
yeah.
almost like a given at this point because he can he can hit every shot, he takes every shot, and he's just efficient. So I think Tatum could get there. He just has to focus on taking those easier buckets.
I'm at the mindset now where I feel like Brown and Tatum, like that tandem, I'm okay with it. And I don't care whose team it is between the two. We know Tatum is like we know him, he is the one. Maybe Jaylen Brown is just the alpha, but Tatum has the better talent. And there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
I'm okay with them as a tandem for the foreseeable future. Um, with the collective bargaining agreement coming in, I don't know how much talent will be able to be around them because like it's gonna get so tight, and I don't know how all of that works just yet. But I feel like if y'all have to go into luxury, being
We
that
live in a luxury.
you got to because like you just pay Porzingis, you pay Drew, you finna pay Tatum, you pay Brown. I feel like it's okay though, you know. But
Yeah. I mean, luckily for us right now, like the core guys are still signed. Like they just extended
yeah,
Porzingis, they extended
yeah,
Drew Holiday. Derek White is still on the contract. The only one that's really leaving after this season is Al Horford, which I expect him to retire anyway if we
yeah,
win.
yeah.
But yeah, everybody else is under contract. Well, Tatum's about to get paid this summer. I'm assuming that he accepts that contract. He's
Mhm,
gonna be the highest paid player probably in the league. So
mhm.
yeah, we definitely gonna be well into the luxury tax, and so that's why the window is like right now to get it done because you don't know what's gonna happen down the line, and this is the time to get it done.
Before we leave, just like some playful foreshadowing. What's the window?
I mean, I said earlier, I think they can three-peat. I think if they keep like this core intact, like as long as you replace Al Horford with another stretch big, they can three-peat. Obviously, injuries and stuff happen, but if this team stays intact, they can three-peat. It's a couple threats out there, but I
Right.
still don't see any team being better than this squad right now. All these guys are like most of them are sub 30. I think Derek White, he even might be sub 30 outside of Horford. I think they're all sub 30. So
Drew is like what 33, 34?
oh, Drew, I'm sorry. Yeah, I think outside of Drew and Horford, I think Derek White might be at 30.
29, 30.
And all the rest of them are right in their prime right now. So
So to the Mavericks fans, this is not a eulogy. This is not us giving up. We're not waving the white flag. This is simply a reaction of games 1 and 2, and it's just different, man. Because I'm passionate. You know, I'm the type of guy like I don't put too much emotion into it, but because I'm a little old and I understand certain things now. But it's like, especially when you're a Maverick fan, like good things don't always happen. We always competitive, but it's like we haven't been here in 13 years. Like it's hard to get back here. Unfortunately, when we won the championship, they broke the team up. So it's like, dang, like you're not
Yeah.
gonna give us, you know what I'm saying? So it's like it's so hard to get back to the mountaintop. And with the Western Conference, well, what I think is going to be next year, a lot of teams like the Thunder and the Timberwolves, you get to this place, you get the failure, and that's like you learn from it, you gain that experience, so you come back better. I think the Sacramento Kings are going to be like, okay, we've seen some of y'all make the playoffs. We might feel we better than y'all. If I'm John Morant and I'm at home, like, oh, y'all forgot? I'll say less, you know. So it's like here come the Memphis Grizzlies. Who knows what Ime Udoka and the Houston Rockets have up their sleeve, you know. So it's like I expect the West to be real competitive, minus a few teams, because we're noticing the older guys. They finna fizzle out. That's just what it is. This is a young man's league, and I feel like Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum are at the helm of like the hierarchy of the young guys, you know, because they're so good. But you got anything else, bro?
Well, on the flip side to that, I think
Mhm.
the same way you saying all these other West teams could get better and want to take the next step. I don't see Dallas just sitting back and watching that happen. They got a great
We
GM.
can't.
I think they're gonna make a move in this offseason. Whether they win or lose this finals, I can
Mhm.
see them making a move. They got a little bit of money to play with, and they own the map now. Whereas I don't think it'll be a struggle attracting the free agents like it's been like in the past for say. So
It shouldn't be. I
um,
hope it's not.
yeah, but then just kind of like foreshadowing game 3. I expect this game to be the shootout game.
Mhm.
If there's any game that the Mavericks win this series, because I said I think it's going 4-5. I think this will be the
Mhm.
game they win.
Mhm.
Both teams will do to shoot the lights out, and then I think the advantage that the Mavericks are going to have outside of being at home is that desperation factor. You can't really like manufacture that. Like for the Celtics, I know as much as you want to go into the locker room and say like, let's get this done, go up 3-0.
It's
You
not like
can't
that.
you can't manufacture that real desperation of being down 0-2 and knowing like if you don't win this game, no team has ever come back from 3-0. And then they got the great players to kind of act on that feeling of desperation with Kyrie and Luka. So if we were to see a shootout game, like a high scoring game, I think it would be this one. And I think, I mean, for the record, I still think the Celtics are going to win this game. But if the Mavericks were to win a game in the series, I think this is going to be the one that they will win. So looking forward to it.
It's nothing more dangerous than a desperate team.
Yeah.
I heard somebody say that the Mavericks fans are banking on that Kyrie game. We got that going for us. Um, this matchup is just so difficult for him. This kind of reminds
Too
me of
many
the Oklahoma,
bodies. Too many
huh?
bodies. Too many
It's
bodies they
like
can throw at them.
it's like the Oklahoma City series times two almost. Like a more polished version because they present some of the same issues. But like this team is just they more honed in their skills and their defensive ability and their ability to obtain information and just take all the experience accumulated and performing on the court is just different. And
Yeah.
Kyrie, he's just really struggling right now. He's having a hard go at it. But I think we do for Uncle Drew game. We do for Uncle Drew plus Luca game because I feel like with Luca being in the state he in, I'm not going to make any excuse. He still go out there and play as well. But we obviously see Luca looks 70% right now. I don't. It is what it is. Everybody banged up. This June, everybody,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying. So, but games 3 and 4, we're gonna spin the block. We're gonna record that, man. It's gonna be 2-2 by then. You know what I'm saying? I appreciate you for pulling up, my guy.
Yeah, man. I appreciate you having me. I'm just ready to get out there. I'll be out, like I said, I'll be in Dallas on Friday, so I'm ready to collect this bread from these people, man.
You coming to get some money, huh?
Yeah, I'm expecting game 4. I kind of want to go to the game, man.
Mm-hmm.
I might just kind of pull a last minute move. I mean, them tickets is expensive, but
Yeah, them tickets be
if I'm about
crazy.
to win a band anyway, I might just go ahead and what I'm saying, bite the bullet and do it. I don't want that to come back and shoot me in the foot later on. So we'll see.
I
Got
might try to. You said that's game 4 is Friday, right?
game 4 Friday,
Yeah,
yeah.
they only got the 1 day break. We got the 1 day break. That's crazy. Yeah, it's
Yeah,
crazy.
Cody, Wednesday then, yeah, Thursday, Friday,
Yeah,
yeah.
I might try to be there in time. So it's possibly you might see me. But yeah, man, I'm gonna let you get up out of here, man. But games 3 and 4, whenever we can, we're gonna spin the block. We're gonna do this. I appreciate you pulling up, bro.
Yeah, no, I appreciate it. Thank you, man.
Oh yes, sir. Peace, y'all.
All right.